Hi guys, it's the Bipolar Hot Mess. I know I haven't done a YouTube video in a really long time, but hey, Eldon, you stole. But yes, that's Eldon. Eldon is the newest addition. Say hi, Eldon. Eldon is the newest addition to the Hot Mess family. He's my mom's newest little pup. And being with Eldon this morning, and just recently, kind of made me want to do this video because I know I posted a little bit. I don't know how much I posted on the Hot Mess page, but I know I posted a lot recently that after 13 years, we've lost our little Hot Mess mascot, Prince, which was actually really, really difficult for me. And so I have all my pictures of him, and just before he passed away, over the years I've gotten, when I have gone into different surgical procedures or when I've gone into the hospital, I've gotten little stuffed animals that have looked like Prince. And so right before it was about, I think it was Valentine's Day, this was the last one that I received, and this one looks very much like Prince. So this one sits on my shelf with a couple of pictures of him, and it reminded me of a topic that a lot of people don't really either talk about or aren't really aware of, and that is how much animals can help people with either not just bipolar disorder, but mental illnesses, anxiety, post-traumatic distress, all kinds of things. And hi, Eldon. Eldon's curled up in my lap right now, and it was actually funny because Prince passed away a week after my mom got Eldon, and his real name is when we got him, the name that he had gotten from the shelter was Eldon, and we tried a couple other names with him, and it didn't stick. And so the previews for the Elton John movie were on, and my parents just couldn't stop calling him Eldon. Like, every time we tried to give him a new name, they just call him Eldon, because that's what they had been calling him for the 2 weeks leading up to when he was being delivered to us. And so they were like, well, what could we call him? I'm like, why don't we call him Elton John? Like joking around, like Elton John. So his real name is actually Eldon Jr. John. But anyway, he was here for about a week with Prince, and they were playing around and everything, and Prince was like a little puppy. He was the happiest I've ever seen him. And then one day had a stroke and passed away. So it was almost as if he knew that Eldon was here, Eldon was okay, he was going to take care of Chloe, our other dog, how we used to call them the twins, and that Eldon was going to take care of all of us. So it's weird how the dogs have that intuition, but yeah, it was so random because Prince wasn't sick up until he had that stroke that day. But it was like, Eldon's here, he's fun, he can play. I taught him to lift his leg when he pees and not squat like Chloe, and it was good. But the animals, the intuition that they have. Prince used to be able to, he could tell when I was upset. and he would come up and cuddle up right next to me. And he could tell when I was sad. All of a sudden, come pull up next to me. Um, if something really terrible was happening, he would come up and he would lay on my chest, and like all of a sudden, I would get news that something terrible had happened. And these dogs, they just, not even just dogs, but animals, they know these things, and they soothe you. When I got Prince 4 months before my first hospitalization, and it was the first dog I had ever owned on my own. It was, all my parents had ever had were bigger dogs, and I always wanted a small dog. And I always wanted my own little cute little small dog that I could just throw in my purse and whatnot. And when I went to go pick out Prince with my former mother-in-law, we went there and all the girl dogs were full grown, and they brought out Prince, the only boy dog, and we weren't gonna get him, but then they're like, we'll just try and play with him. And I put my purse down to go play with him, and immediately, he didn't come walking up to me. He went straight to my purse, sat in my purse, and curled up and took a nap. And I was like, boom, this is my dog. And from that point on, it was like, we were, inseparable. Anyone who knows me and Prince knows that, that dog was everything to me. So then when I went into the hospital and I came out, he was by my side, like 24/7, in my lap, right next to me, following at my footsteps, sleeping as close to me as possible. When the house would be empty, he was in my lap. He was always there. He just always comforting me, and it made such a huge difference, because if I was in that huge house alone, the house was like, it was a huge house. It was a 4-story townhome. So if I was in that huge house alone by myself, every day, I probably would have gone insane. But he always was right next to me. It just knowing that he was there, and then having to take care of him, so having that responsibility. And there are a lot of therapy dogs and therapy animals that are larger, that can do more things, for people who are like visually impaired or hearing impaired, things like that, and they're trained to do a lot more things. And those are more like those are different types of support dogs. But emotional support dogs are more, they're just there because they help you through your anxieties and and your depressions and your and help you, comfort you. And that's what he did. And even though about 2 months later, I ended up back in the hospital. But I came back out. He was there again, and he never left my side. He was always there. And through, no matter where I was, move after move after move, or wherever I was, he was always right there. And whenever I would leave the house, I would come back, and that dog was so happy to see me. He'd be running around. He didn't care that the floor was tile, and his feet were so furry that he could not stop, and he would slide his butt like right into the garage because he couldn't stop when I opened the door. He was so happy to see me, and to have something even if it wasn't exactly a person, but having something that's so happy to see you when you get home, that makes a difference too. And, you know, when I moved in with my parents and I would be out and I would come in at night, my parents would go to sleep fairly early, and it would only be like 10 or 11 o'clock when I would get home, but he would hear me on the stairs coming up to my room, and he would sit there and my parents would tell me that he would sit there by their bedroom door. He wouldn't lay on their bed. He would sit on by their bedroom door and wait to hear me come up the stairs. And when the second he heard the door open, he would sit there and start barking and barking at the top of his lungs. And those were little lungs because he was only 5 pounds. He would bark at the top of his lungs to make sure that I did not forget that he was in their room, and I needed to let him out and bring him into my room because he had to be with me. He had to lay in my room. He had to be with me. And, you know, for someone or something to want to be with you that bad, it makes a difference. And, you know, it's just something so small, but it's yet something so big. You know, I mean, it makes you smile. And watching some of the things that they do, and watching some of the things that they, like, you know, some of the, when he would try to jump up on to the bed and he'd misjudge it and he'd hit his head on the side of the bed and flip backwards and do little twists and stuff and get back up and try and do it again. You know, funny stuff like that, you know, fall into boxes, or, you know, just silly stuff. I mean, one time when he was sick and he had no teeth because they had been extracted because he had really bad gum disease, and the only thing that he could keep that he could eat that would, like, he wouldn't eat anything else, was rice. And he's trying to eat rice, and the rice is stuck to all of his fur, it's stuck to his tongue, it's stuck all over his face, and it was the funniest thing ever. But it's all he could eat, but it was so funny. And those moments, or when I'd be packing to go on a trip or something like that, and I'd leave the room and I'd come back and I'd find him sitting on top of my suitcase because he wanted to come with, you know. Those little things, they help you in so many ways because they make you feel like you're not alone. And, you know, they wash away a lot of that anxiety and I can't explain it. I can't explain how it washes that anxiety away. Like, it's just their calmness, or it's just there. And I mean, a lot of people have cats. I'm not a cat person. I'm allergic to cats. I'm sorry. I'm not a cat person. Prince was good. He was hypoallergenic, so I didn't have to worry about the fur. But a lot of people I know have cats. Same thing. They do the same thing. It's, you know, sometimes if you're living alone, a therapy animal, an emotional therapy animal, can really, really help you. Just because you're not then alone. I mean, people may say that you're alone, but you're not. That animal has a personality. Every single dog that we have had has had their own personality and has made us laugh in some way, shape, or form. They've had their own quirks, and they've all made us laugh in some way, shape, or form, and it's been good for us. And Prince was good for me. And I mean, he was really, really good for me. I just have to show you this. Here's Alvin sleeping on. Apparently, I've bored him to death. But yeah, I mean, he helped me so much, and he did so much for me that I recommend it for anybody. And it does make me sad, but there was one thing that I did remember that we had done on the Hot Mess page. We had started to make on the Facebook page, we had started to make an album of the Hot Mess family pets, or Hot Mess emotional support animals. And it was just you could submit the picture of your pet or emotional support animal, and you could submit the picture and then the name of your pet. And I mean, if you want to include your name, or you're more than welcome to, but I mean, otherwise the only time your name will be seen is when it's in my inbox, because you're going to submit it to the inbox of the page, and then we're going to post it to the actual photo album. So we'll just post the name, like, for example, for me, and I'm actually going to revise the album so that it's in honor of Prince. But if it wasn't in honor of Prince, the entry would be Prince Charming. And if I wanted to put Prince Charming Huff, because obviously everyone knows my last name's Huff, so Prince Charming Huff or Prince Charming, and pretty much that's it. Anything else that you wanted to write about it, or how old he is, or how old she is, or whatnot. Or you can even make it, if you want to make it a little dating profile, feel free to do so, and maybe we can find some doggy matches or some feline matches there. Who knows? Anything goes on the Bipolar Hot Mess page. So so, and then lastly, so you're gonna send those to the you're gonna directly DM those to the Bipolar Hot Mess Facebook page. And then lastly, is that the WEGO Awards, the popular vote portion of it is coming to a close. So if you guys are voting or plan to vote, whoever you're going to be voting for, whether it's me or any of the other thousands and thousands of other candidates out there, there's a million people that have been nominated in all of the different categories. The popular vote is coming to an end. I believe it's July 28th. So make sure that you go to that person's WEGO profile, and you scroll down to just below their picture, and below their picture is the button that says endorse. click that button, and then that button is where you're able to vote, and you can vote for one of their one of their awards or all of their awards that they're nominated for. But if you're nominating them for multiple awards, I believe you have to do each one individually. So remember that. But in order to do the vote, you have to scroll below their picture to the button that says endorse. So yeah, please don't forget that, because it's very important to the advocates, just because we all worked so hard all year, and there's so many of us, and there's so many people that deserve to be recognized, because they've worked their butt off, and it's really a big honor for them to get recognized, because there's not many awards or things like that for the advocates that are given, or that the public gives to the advocates. I don't know of like any other real awards that are given out for any health advocates. So this happens once a year, and it truly is important, because the work that we do, people give their hearts and souls to these things, and most of it is just out of their sheer free will, and are just so dedicated to it, and it can be hard at times, but it's definitely it's hard at times, but it's definitely at the same time, I want to say, like, you feel like you're giving back just as much as you're getting back in some ways, but at the same time you want to know that what you're giving, people are still appreciating. So let your advocates know that you are appreciating what they're doing for you. So WEGOHealth.org, and let them know, because they deserve it. And you can vote for as many people as you want, but you can only vote for one. You can only vote for the person one time. So if you vote for the person and you vote for all of their awards, then you're done with that person and you have to move on to the next one. So you can't every day go to the same person and vote for all of the awards over and over and over again. So but you can vote for as many people as you'd like. But yeah, so anyway, again, the Emotional Support Animal Facebook album on the Musings of the Bipolar Hot Mess Facebook page. I'm gonna be working on that, so I'd like to get that started in honor of Prince, because I love my little guy. I miss him, and you guys all know him. God, I post pictures of him all the time, So there's my little guy. So we're gonna go back, and I'm keeping the ones that are already in there. I'm gonna keep in there, but those, they're part of our family too. I mean, they are little members of our family. So if you'd like to contribute, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. But I just wanted to give you guys an opportunity to, make them part of our family as well, because obviously we can't make mini Facebook pages for them and add them onto the list, and so that they can see our little feed and whatnot. So, but I do want to incorporate them in, because they do help us a lot, and they are a big part of our therapy. Because there have been nights that Prince just helped me when all I did was just pet him, and I cried for a couple minutes and I felt better. Or I took him for a walk and I felt better. Or he could tell that I wasn't feeling right, and he sat in my lap, and boom, they know. These animals know, and it's so crazy how they know that, but they do, and they really can help us a lot more than we thought. So, anyway, I'm babbling now, but send those pictures in, and don't forget to do the WEGO votes. And if there's anything else that you wanted to discuss or talk about, just let me know. I know I haven't been keeping up with the YouTube page or pretty much any of the pages recently, except to do some Instagram posts here and there, and some random posts here and there, and I haven't been really doing anything really in depth. So if there's any topic that you want me to start working on an in-depth like basis, or something in depth, let me know, and I'll look into it. Just some sort of category or a symptom or topic or something like that, because I haven't really started delving into anything like major. So I've just been doing little answering questions here and there with some short answers and some references. So let me know, and you can also send that to the Facebook page or Bipolar Hot Mess at gmail.com. And yeah, I think we'll kind of go from there. So happy weekend, and yeah, send me your, oh sorry Elvin, I just like put my leg and smashed his whole face. He's still sleeping though. Oh my god. Okay, well anyway, so I'm gonna get back to my Lifetime Saturday, is it? And I'm gonna get back to some of the stuff I gotta do, but please feel free to message me, email me, and if you have any requests for if you want any interviews with me, or public speaking engagements, or what else, or like podcast stuff. I've done all these things before, and things like that. Let me know. I do on my website, bipolarhotmess.com. There is a link for how to get in contact with me, but they all say to email me at bipolarhotmess@gmail.com. So yeah, email me at bipolarhotmess@gmail.com, and I'm happy to do any kind of interviews. I have a plethora of stuff under my belt as well. So alright guys, thanks for watching, and I hope to hear from you guys soon, and I hope to see some really cool pictures of some really fancy critters. I can't wait. So I can't wait to see all the cute names. And oh, and if in the pictures you have pictures and they have like children or like adults or people in them, and you don't want the people showing, or obviously I'm not gonna put any children showing, so I'm gonna crop those out, just so you know. But as far as adults showing, if you do not want those adults showing, please let me know, so I can crop those out as well. Just because I know with it being a mental health page, people are funny like that. So I just want to make that clear, that all children will be cut out of the pictures that have the pets, and adults will be left in unless specifically told to cut out, unless you can cut them out yourselves. Okay? Awesome. Well, then I will be looking forward to hearing from you guys. And I'm sorry it's been so long, but I'll try to keep better in touch. Alright? And don't forget your WEGO votes. Alright, bye.